This week on 49ers Sac-hi Sports, playoff football is in full swing, and we have the exciting quarterfinal matchups with Merced meeting Christian Brothers, Central Catholic battling Monterey Trail, and Granite Bay taking on Downey.
You'll see Ponderosa in the first round of the NorCal volleyball playoffs, section title games in girls and boys water polo for all three divisions, plus the story of the Johnson football star playing this season with a heavy heart. 49ers Sac-hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Brownstein. We start tonight in the town of Galt, where the Liberty Ranch Hawks continued their historic season. Liberty Ranch is 10-0 on the year after a first-round bye in the Division 5 section playoffs.
The Hawks earning the third seed and are set to face 6-seeded Dixon this week. The Rams are 9-2 and coming off a win over Foothill. Dixon looking to continue its season and make it to the semifinals. The game played at Liberty Ranch Friday.
Brian Mueller saying hello from Galt Friday night for this quarterfinal showdown between Liberty Ranch and Dixon. The Hawks wasted no time. Second play from scrimmage, Arthur Drager. And you know what they say, Arthur does as he pleases. And that would be a 56-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. Nothing doing until the last minute of the half. Kaimani Fanica lofts it to the big tight end Cody Smith, who catches this just outside the end zone, but the Hawks would punch it in to lead 14-0. On the ensuing kickoff, the Rams will get a big return from Elijah Montgomery. Then Jet Harris does the rest. A big score before the half for Dixon to make it 14-7. Third quarter, Harris in trouble in his own end zone, and he's intercepted by Gavin O'Brien. That would lead to another Hawk touchdown to make it 21-7. But Dixon responds on their next drive. Not gonna lie, thought this was coming straight for my head, but I should have trusted Jet and his very capable receiver, Brent Green. It's 21-14. Midway through the fourth, third and goal for the Hawks, but Dixon comes up with a stop, so Liberty Ranch will try a field goal to make it a two-score game, but Saeed Smith there for the block. Luis Torres scoops it up, and he has a clear path all the way to the end zone, an 85-yard return and a potential 9-point swing. But the PAT was no good, so the Hawks still lead by 1. The Ranch trying to get some insurance on their next drive, but there's Green, this time catching a pass from the other quarterback, and Dixon is in business with 5 minutes left. A couple plays later, it's takeoff time for Jet. He throws this deep and into the arms of Jordan Segmani, and Dixon has their first lead of the game with 4:41 left, 28-21. The Hawks going for the tie late in the fourth, but it's fumbled in the backfield. The Rams recover, completing the upset. Dixon wins 28-21 and advances to the semifinals for the first time since 1974, where they'll face Sonora.
We've been getting doubted this whole season, but if we play a good game and come out strong, I think we'll be a state championship.
Garrison reporting here where Christian Brothers will be taking on Merced in the second round of the playoffs on a chilly night. Let's get started off with Falcons. William Littlejohn handing off to Eric Jensen, who punches it in for the first score of the game. Then Littlejohn throws a lob up for Phillip Bell, who hauls it in with an amazing grab and gives the Falcons an early 14-0 lead. But Quintel Dupree hands it off to Jack Collins, who runs out of the pocket and throws a on-the-money pass to Jordan Dupree, who toe-tapped his way in for a TD in the Bears' first score. Next, Littlejohn answers back and again connects with a lob pass to Bell, who's making it look easy. 21-7, Christian Brothers lead with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. However, Bears not letting up. Quintel with the play-action pass to Collins, who dives for the tud to make it a 21-14 game. Falcons lead. More Bears, and this time it's their defense starting to cause chaos, like this forced fumble by Anthony Nixon and Jaloon Booth picking it up and taking it to the house for a big score to tie the game up at 21. But the Falcons still flying high and weathering the storm, with Littlejohn passing it to Marcus Price, who scores a touchdown to regain the lead heading into the half, 28-21. Now 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Bell keeps on ringing that big play Bell with this pick, which halts the momentum for the Bears. Then a few drives later, it's Littlejohn throwing a laser to Jensen, who makes a tackler miss and scores a touchdown. 35-21, Falcons lead with 7 minutes left. Nevertheless, the Bears are still applying pressure. Quintel fakes the run, and QB sneaks it and breaks the plane to score a TD to make it 35-28 with 5 minutes left. Yet the Falcons kept making clutch plays like this pocket pass from Littlejohn to Price, who puts the price tag on this game as a W. Christian Brothers win it 42-28 and move on to the next round of the playoffs, where they will be hosting Wood Creek next Friday in another win-or-go-home matchup. Out to Loomis for the Division II NorCal Volleyball opening round as the Golden Eagles hosted De La Salle's sister school, Carondelet, on Tuesday. Early on, Allie Chandler introduced herself to the Cougars. The UC Davis commit is a big force for the Golden Eagles, but Carondelet would answer the challenge as they took the first set here. Toby Hogan smashes this set by Lauren Addis, and the Cougars led it early. In the second set, Del Oro jumps out to a lead here as Chandler to Isabella Rassi, over to Lily Oldenburger, who sliced it in for the score. Then Valentina Zanetti sets it over to Rassi, who gives it to Oldenburger, who bangs it off the wall for the score. It's now set point, and instead of making the set, Isabella Rassi just fakes out the defense and plays it for the winner. In the third set now, Carondelet taking this one here. Isabella Erlech gets up and builds a roof and wins it for the Cougars. Off to the fourth set. Del Oro goes up 2 on this play as Sophia Sampson knocks it at the net. And check out Isabella Rassi, who takes a swing at it, hits the ball just off the net, and scores it for the Golden Eagles. It's all tied up at 24 now. Check out the big play by this block by Chandler and Grace Cool, getting the block and the lead. That led to this Frankie Rassi to Isabella Rassi. Then Chandler and her kill forces the fifth set. Then the fifth set, great save by Isabella. She gets it over to Chandler. Then Carondelet tries to sneak it over, but Allie Chandler was like, nope. To match point we go. Cool bumps into Isabella Rassi and a back set to Chandler, and she was in the zone at this point, pounding away the Cougars as Del Oro wins a NorCal opening match in 5 sets.
Something just clicked in us. We really decided we didn't want our season to end, so we really just brought the fire.
Nick Pecoraro here with the Division I Boys Water Polo Section Championship Saturday. Number 1 Davis versus number 2 Jesuit. Here we go. Keegan Moore gets things going for Jesuit, but Davis answers as Christian Davis rocks and fires, knots the score at 1. But Jesuit's Devin Charamuga with a beautiful baseline feed to Moore, and Big Red goes up 2-1 after 1. Blue Devils on the attack in the second. Jackson Harris with a bullet from straight away. And now it's JT Dowdy's turn, no doubt about this one. And it's Davis with a 3-2 lead at the half. Fast forward to the closing minutes of the fourth. Jesuits down 1, but check out this unbelievable no-look backhand from Keegan Moore. He ties the game with a $1:18 to play. What a shot. Dante Nocetti looks to put it away. Marauders take a 6-5 lead with 22 seconds left, but wait, Davis gets a penalty shot and Bo Brown delivers. We're headed to overtime, folks. In the first OT, Christian Davis puts the Blue Devils in front, but don't forget, we played 2 overtime periods in water polo. In the second OT, it's Moore again on the penalty shot, and it's 7-7. We needed 2 sudden death periods, but in the end, it's Moore who comes through with the championship goal, his 6th of the night, none bigger than the last one here, and Jesuit hoists its 12th section championship.
Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Andrew Johnson from Turlock. The linebacker put on a defensive clinic in the Bulldogs' first round win over Edison. Andrew had 2 interceptions and won our Play of the Week after forcing a fumble on a long Edison run and recovering the ball.
Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Emily Vickers from Escalon. The Cougars legged out a 5-set win over Christian Brothers in the Division III section final game last week. Emily had 25 kills, 6 aces, and 25 digs in her championship performance. Emily Vickers and Andrew Johnson, this week's Roseville Hyundai Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD teaches us how we can save energy.
Here is this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
I'm Tegan Brostrom from St. Francis High School, and this is this week's Clean Power City Tip. Use rechargeable batteries for items like TV remotes instead of single-use batteries, and don't forget to recycle single-use batteries. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first on Power Electric game. Central Catholic travels north to take on Monterey Trail.
Then it's the Division II section water polo title game. You are watching 49ers sac-hi Sports.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's sac-hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle Hyundai Nexo, we've got you covered. Claim yours today.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF Niners, we just win. SF Niners, we just win. I'm from that field, I'm from that field. 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 I'm from that field.
Our first SunPower Electric game is the rematch of the Division II Sac Joaquin section title game from last year, except Central Catholic and Monterey Trail now meet in Division I.
That's right. The Raiders and Mustangs both moving up to D1 this year. Central Catholic won the section title game last year as the 1 seed. This year, the Raiders are the 5th seed and Monterey Trail the 4th. Our Nick Pecoraro breaks down the matchup in Elk Grove on Friday.
Electric game.
Well, Robert and Aubrey, you guys took the words right out of my mouth. This SunPower Electric game is indeed a rematch of last year's Division II section final. The Mustangs no doubt still have that 3-touchdown loss in the back of their minds, but Central Catholic comes in battle-tested with one of the toughest schedules in all the section, and they hope that pays off for games just like tonight. Looking to avenge last year's finals loss is Monterey Trail, which also seeks its first section championship. The run game is key here. Jervin Navarro, Dalen Ellis, and Ollie Collier should all have something to say, but if pedigree plays a role, then Central Catholic has the edge. No school has more section banners than the Raiders, 20. CC's Tyler Jacklich is averaging 190 rushing yards with 19 touchdowns during the Raiders' current 6-game win streak. You gotta love any team who comes out to AC/DC's back in black. But it was Central Catholic's Jacklich who provided the high voltage early and often in this one. A big pickup here sets up his quarterback, Tyler Wentworth. He keeps it on the bootleg for a 2-yard score, and the Raiders go up 7-0 early. Fast forward now, it's 14-0 CC. Monterey Trail looks like they're punting it away, but wait, it's a trap! Dalen Ellis keeps it for himself, picks up the first down and then some. A 35-yard gain has the Mustangs in business as MT finishes off the drive with an 8-yard score from Ollie Collier, and it's 14-7. But Central Catholic responds right before the half as Jacklich cruises into the end zone from 5 yards, and the Raiders take a 21-7 lead into the break. Third quarter, Jacklich picks up right where he left off. A 14-yard score makes it 28-7. And on the next drive, Jacklich zigs and zags his way in from 19 yards out. Jacklich would score on 4 consecutive Raider drives. Mustangs looking for a spark, and it's the senior Ollie Collier. Ollie, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Your hands can't tackle what your eyes can't see. A 95-yard kickoff return for Collier gives Monterey Trail some life, but Central Catholic could not be stopped on Friday. Wentworth hits Trace Hernandez for a 33-yard score. The Raiders win 56-29 and will challenge top-seeded Folsom this Friday.
We had a good game against Sarah. Sarah beat Folsom. So, I think we can definitely beat them. It kind of just goes back to, again, if our team wants to go out there and play 100%. We all have great chemistry. We all work together well. So, I think we can definitely beat them.
From Elk Grove, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-hi Sports.
Brian Mueller here. It's an unofficial home game for Wood Creek in the D2 final between the Timberwolves and Buhack Colony. Wood Creek gets off to a fast start on their home turf. Olivia Dam scores on the fadeaway. The T-Wolves lead 2-0 in the first, but the Thunder strike back. Macy Drum squeezes off this pass to Emma Ayala, and she just casually tosses this into the back of the net. Makes it 2-1. Still in the first, Dam swimming right down Central, scores again, back to a 2-goal advantage for Wood Creek. Final seconds of the first, time winding down, but Haley Hensley beats the clock, scores with 0.4 seconds left to make it 4-1. To the second, Allison Boudreau with the lob shot, easy does it, and the Timberwolves are now up 6-1. It will be 7-1 before the Thunder would end the run. Drum scores on the penalty shot, 7-2. A little over a minute before the half, Boudreau with a defender in her face scores, and the T-Wolves are up 8-2 at the half. More of the same in the third. Here's Hensley swimming freely, and she puts it away to make it 9-2, and Wood Creek goes on to win their first section title in school history for girls or boys, 14-5 the final.
We won it, so it really meant a lot to us because we've been talking about this since day one of the season.
Coming up, Davis and Granite Bay take to the pool for the Division I Girls Water Polo Finals.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin section top 10 girls volleyball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, Smud's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
The Division I section title game in girls water polo is the rematch of last year's D1 game. The Davis girls water polo team is the reigning 5-time Sac Joaquin section champs after defeating Granite Bay in the title game last season. The program has a total of 17 section titles. Kenzie Walker leads the Blue Devils in goals this season.
Avery Mall is the Grizzlies' leading scorer. She has over 100 goals on the year. Granite Bay getting another crack at taking down powerhouse Davis in the title game played in Roseville on Saturday.
Nick Pecoraro in Roseville. The Davis girls have been to the D1 finals every year since 2000. Second seeded Granite Bay stands in their way Saturday. Here we go. Davis comes out firing as Malaya Wright feeds Layla Merced for the one-timer, and then Merced returns the favor as Wright sends this one in. Davis led 4-1 after one. The Blue Devils stay on the attack. Wright leads Kyla Cutler, who swims her way into open space. She goes bottom shelf as Davis takes a 6-2 lead, but Granite Bay keeps it close as Lola Engel pulls up from deep. The junior stops and pops. That makes it a 3-goal game, and the Grizzlies are on the attack again. Allie Nyhart led Granite Bay with 3 goals on Saturday, but her team is still down 7-4 at the half. Third quarter, Layla Merced pushing forward. She drives home one of her 3 goals on the night, but Granite Bay is not about to concede. Avery Mall fires from the post as the Grizzlies find themselves down 4 heading into the fourth, but this is where Davis shows its section championship pedigree. Merced goes cross-pool to Lucy Lapuz, and it's time for Davis head coach Doug Wright to take a bath, because with a 13-7 win, it's another blue banner for the Blue Devils. Their 18th championship is the most in section history.
The Hiram Johnson football team reached the postseason for the 3rd consecutive season this fall. One of the biggest reasons for the Warriors' success is senior receiver Jason Fowler.
Fowler was one of the most dominant players in this section at his position this season. Our Nick Pecoraro has the story on what fueled Fowler heading into his senior year.
There have been several factors in the success of the Hiram Johnson football team this season. But one of the biggest common denominators is senior athlete Jason Fowler.
Can't talk about this year's team without Jason. I think he has 20-something touchdowns. We put him on the wide side of the field in the alley for a reason, because he's a competitor.
Jason grew up playing quarterback, but for the first time in his life, he's thriving in a new role as wide receiver, a move that has paid off big for the Warriors.
He makes simple plays like a hitch turn into a 70-yard touchdown. Anybody who's smart knows he's going to be playing on Saturdays here coming soon.
At the end of the regular season, Fowler was in the top 10 in multiple Sac Joaquin section offensive and defensive categories.
You know how everybody has that mindset, oh yeah, we're going to do this and that, but we actually been making something big this year, actually putting the school on the board, the news, schools getting the stadium, so like school's now starting to get recognized.
But Jason's origin story goes well beyond simply making a position change on the football field.
If everybody knows Jason, they know Jason kept the football. He slept with the football. I don't know how many times I went through footballs, keep him in the car, here, anywhere. That's all he knows is football.
Jason's passion for football was born out of the loss of his father, who died when Jason was just 5 years old.
He didn't take it well. He didn't quite understand, but then when he seen that he wasn't coming around anymore, I think that's when it hit him, because especially on weekends when they would do stuff together, he would be out there waiting for him out the window, waiting for him to drive up. Didn't happen.
Jason's mother knew he needed an outlet to channel his emotional struggles.
Right around the corner was football, and that's when I decided, I said, yeah, I better get my son, because I didn't want him to be in this shell that he was in. I wanted him to, be better and do better. So I decided to put him in football, and I think that was the best decision I've ever done.
But it was a challenge for the newly single mother of two to provide childcare for Jason and his sister, until a former work colleague stepped in.
Peggy was a co-worker of mine, and she was getting ready to retire. I took Jason over there to go see him, and she fell in love with him instantly and said, well, I'm retired, so if you need a babysitter, I'm more than willing and able to take him. And it was over then. I went back to work when he was 6 weeks, and it was on and popping since then.
She wasn't blood, but I'm starting to get more comfortable with her and start loving her more because what she's doing and what she was doing for me. And as far as I get 6, 7, and 8, I'm realizing, this is my grandma.
She was just a magical woman. Jason didn't have to want for nothing. She gave him the world. When Jason started talking, that was his grandma. He always called her Grandma Peggy.
But tragedy struck again between Jason's junior and senior year as Grandma Peggy died of COVID-related complications.
She had pneumonia already, and then COVID came, and Peggy was already up in age, and she just couldn't fight it no more, and she ended up passing from that. And it took a big hit on Jason.
Once I heard that, I was mad. I was just sitting in a chair quiet for a cool minute.
But Jason channeled his emotions through football, and he dedicated his senior year to his extended family member, triumphantly capping it off with a league championship. And now permanent ink on his forearm cements the bond with the woman he knew as Grandma Peggy.
It makes him feel closer to her, spirit-wise. So in each touchdown that he does through the game, he gives her that kiss up, and hopefully she's looking down at him.
She took me in as she didn't have to, and she loved me. She didn't have to. She didn't have to help my mom. She could have said, no, I don't want him here. But she took me in respectfully, fed me, let me sleep there on bad occasions. Something's going on, I could go talk to her. Her having her in my life is very blessing, and I'm thankful for that, for real.
Reporting from Sacramento, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-hi Sports.
The Johnson football season has come to an end, but we can plan on seeing Jason on the Warriors basketball team. He will surely carry Peggy's memory onto the hardwood this winter.
Absolutely. All right, this season, Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who give it their all in their sport and give back to their schools.
This week's Service Champions Student Spotlight, we feature Case DeJong from Turlock Christian. Case plays basketball for the Eagles and serves as the president of the Future Farmers of America chapter at Turlock Christian. He is also an ASB officer and works for his family dairy farm. Great job, Case, and being a champion in service for your school.
Coming up, the U.S. Army Game of the Week, it's Gustine and Woodland Christian.
Then it's St. Mary's volleyball in its NorCal playoff run. But first, here's this week's Spirit Corner featuring the cheer team from Oakdale.
Trevor was born a champion. He knows how to make lemonade from lemons. He also knows that comfort is all year round. So sometimes when you can't make lemonade, you make hot chocolate. Today, Trevor is proud to be a service champion. We're now offering a $58 2-for-1 special. You'll get a comprehensive AC tune-up and a free furnace safety inspection. High five service, champion attitude. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
Sac-hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers. Woodland Christian heads into the Division 7 first-round game as the 3 seed. The Cardinals making it to the section title game last year, but ended up falling just short. The Cardinals defense has given up just 84 points in 10 games. That's an average of 8.5 points a game.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Gustine is the 6th seed and Woodland Christian's opponent this week. The Reds looking to advance to the semifinal round in our U.S. Army Game of the Week. Our Brian Mueller was there.
Brian Mueller saluting you from Woodland Christian Thursday night for our U.S. Army Game of the Week. The Cardinals hosting Gustine. Scoreless in the first until this double handoff play. Caden Pasco to Noah Hinkle and then to his brother Billy. And Billy will do the rest as greeted by some friends near the end zone. And it's 7-0. Later in the quarter, here's Billy again, shaking off some tackles. And he is loose down the sideline for another score. The Cards with an early 14-0 lead. And you know what? The Woodland Christian offense has a hankering for more. Hinkle takes the pitch. He's barely touched on this 32-yard run. WC up 21-0. Early second now, the Reds in the red zone with a 4th and 1. But that vaunted Cardinals defense holds. Santos Nixon, the first man in the backfield, and Woodland Christian gets the ball back. They would take advantage. Billy with the ball again, and just in case you lost counts, yeah, that's 4 touchdowns. Woodland Christian leads 28-0. Here come the Cardinals again later in the quarter. This looks familiar. Hinkle has plenty of space, but can't quite tightrope the sideline long enough to get in the end zone. No big deal. A few plays later, it's Kai Brown finishing off the drive, and the Cardinals lead 35-0. Final seconds of the half. WC looking for one more score. They go to the air this time. Pasco passing. And guess who's on the other end of it? Mr. Hinkle with his 5th touchdown of the night. 42-0 at the half. Gustine looking to get a little something going on in the second half, but there's Devin Herrera taking it the other way, and Woodland Christian advances to the semis with a 45-8 win thanks to a huge night from Hinkle.
We are here with the victorious Cardinals. Congratulations. All right. Billy, where are you, Billy? Billy, okay. It seemed like every time you touched the ball, a touchdown was a possibility. Is that how you felt as well?
Yes, I'm so nervous.
Well, you did not look nervous out in the field. What was kind of the key to your performance out there tonight?
My linemen and everybody I play with.
All right, well said.
Yes, sir.
All right, Devin, you really led the defense well tonight with that interception. Almost got the shutout, but overall, what an incredible performance. What was the key defensively for you guys?
Just keeping the outside contained and just stuffing the run. You already know. It's all in God's hands. Let's get it.
Yeah, well done out there. And Kai, you did a little bit of everything tonight on offense and defense. I know a year ago you guys came so close to a title. You're on to the semis now. How good does that feel, and how much further do you think you can go?
It feels great. I think we could take it all the way. All the way.
Yeah. All right, we got a confident bunch of Cardinals here. Take us out one more time, guys.
Hey, let me get 2 claps, and a hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! Let's go!
Yes,
St. Mary's hosts the Division I NorCal quarterfinal round as the 3rd seed taking on 6th-seeded Clovis West. It was a battle from the very jump. Ella Rishwain serves it up nicely to Audrey Arnaudo, who buries it in the corner. And not only could Rishwain hang it, she can also bang it. St. Mary's takes the first set by 5. Set 2, libero Megan Kagiro with the dig. Rishwain to Caprisa Brock, and that one falls in no man's land. 24-23 Rams with set point, but Clovis West goes on to extend the set, tied at 24. Aaliyah Helsley, the tough dig. Maddie Ray to Aiden Goodrich off 1 foot. That brings up set point. Helsley to Haley Rangel, who tools it off the block, and the Golden Eagles tie it up at a set apiece. Clovis goes on top early in the third. Nice block from Nicole Butt, but Kylie Wankowitz makes the most of her second chance, and that shot falls to give the Golden Eagles a 12-8 lead. They would go up by 6 later on in the set. Kyra Schamberger gets the dig. Helsley feeds Kalani Soares. Her shot is too hot, but the Rams battle back from the 8-point deficit. Tied at 23. Mackenzie Dobbins, ooh la la, Dobbins got tricks. Tied up at 24, again some extra volleyball. Hummel to Dobbins, and then back to Keeley. That one isn't coming back, 25-24. Watch Arnaudo ducking out of the way of this shot, letting the ball go out of bounds for set point. The Rams lead it 2-1. Set 4, Clovis West down by 1. Schamberger receives the serve. Helsley to Wankowitz to tie it up at 17, but the Rams would go back on top. A tough set for Dobbins is no problem. She gets it to Rishwain. Ella would lead the Rams in both assists and kills in this match. That brings up match point. Arnaudo, Rishwain, Aliana Williams, and the freshman puts this match away. St. Mary's advances after the 3-1 win over Clovis West and faced Valley Christian in the semifinals. Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Stephen Weiss with this week's health tip.
A concussion is a brain injury typically caused by a direct hit to the head, face, or neck. There are over 3 million reported sports-related concussions per year. Football, wrestling, soccer, and basketball players are at the highest risk. A prior concussion puts you at anywhere from 2 to 8 times the risk of having another concussion. You don't need to be knocked unconscious to have a concussion. A headache is the most common symptom, but also dizziness, loss of balance, nausea, visual changes, confusion, or difficulty concentrating can also occur. If you suffer a concussion, you should not return to play the same day. Return to play must be cleared by your athletic trainer or doctor.
Coming up, our mattress firm perfect match between Downey and Granite Bay.
Then Ponderosa starts its quest in the NorCal volleyball tournament. This is 49ers.
This week's Mattress Firm Perfect Match is an intriguing battle between two schools from different ends of the section. The Downey Knights are undefeated on the year. Connor Stoddard leads the South with over 2,800 passing yards and 35 touchdowns.
Yeah, Connor is really good. Granite Bay making the trek down to Modesto to face the Knights in the Division II quarterfinals. The Grizzlies have an outstanding sophomore running back. Carter Jackson leads his team in touchdowns. Granite Bay and Downey last met back in 2019 in the playoffs, the two meeting for the first time since in Modesto on Friday.
Brian Mueller saying hello Friday night from our Mattress Firm Perfect Match as Downey takes the field for their second round game against Granite Bay. But the Grizzlies making themselves right at home. Carter Jackson doesn't need a lot of space to make something happen. Case in point, takes the screen pass, and Mr. Jackson isn't losing this track meet. 77 yards, 7-0 midway through the first. Later in the quarter, Isaiah N.A. getting the ball now. Hard to believe this guy is a freshman with how talented he is. And just like that, the Grizz are up 14-0. Early second now, Granite Bay punting. Or at least that's what they want you to think. Here's N.A. again, and he gets more than enough for a first down. That would lead to another Grizzly score to make it 21-0. But you knew this explosive Knights offense would come alive eventually. Connor Stoddard rears back and launches this to Camden Rush for a big gainer. Then the Knights battering ram Richard Williams would finish off the drive with a short run. Downey trails 21-6 with 4 minutes until the half, but Granite Bay still had plenty of time to answer before intermission. N.A. continues to slice through this stout Downey defense. He rips off another touchdown run to make it 28-6. We're still in the second quarter. Stoddard showing off that arm again. This time it's Gabe Hernandez on the other end, and he is gone down the sideline 28-12. And it's finally halftime. But the break didn't mellow any of the momentum for the Grizzlies. McCade Long finds Joseph Catalico down the middle. He's in. It's 35-12. The Knights once again trying to keep pace. Stoddard under fire, but he slings it to Gavin Garcia, 35-18. Late third quarter, the Knights trying to make it 2 in a row, but instead it's a pick from the precocious NA, and the Grizz pull off the upset 42-24. Granite Bay is on to the semis for the first time since 2017, where they'll face number 2 Del Oro Friday.
Nick Pecoraro here. Ponderosa looking for its first NorCal win since 2017, with Kingsburg making the 3.5-hour trip on Tuesday. Here we go. Kingsburg comes out swinging. Number 2, Claire Tolliver fires, but it's dug out by Bruin libero Sam Hawley. But Tolliver follows her shot for the kill. Vikes up early. But the Bruins with some net defense. Lily Smith makes everybody say, ooh! Pondo keeping it close as Brooke Tudor shoves it home, and we're all tied up at 14. But the Central Section champs put away set 1 as Tolliver breaks down the Bruins wall. Vikes up 1-0. Set 2, Pondo on the near side as Kingsburg's Sydney Wilson ties it up at 10 with this freaking laser beam. But the Bruins have an answer as Paige Skinner gets up to throw down. She had 14 kills on Tuesday night. Later in the set, AJ Slakowski breaks a 20-20 tie, and the Bruins take set 2, 25-21. The third set was all Kingsburg, though. Here's Wilson off the feed from Kelsey Brett, and then Brett this time gives it to Tolliver. Wilson and Tolliver each had 17 kills to lead the Vikings, who take set 3 comfortably, 25-11. To the fourth, it's Wilson again for Kingsburg. The Vikes look to be in cruise control, up 20-9 at one point, but hold up, wait a minute. Pondo's trying to get back in it. Sophomore Rylan Hooker with the smash from the right side, and then Paige Skinner with the block from the left side. All of a sudden, it's 23-20. But the mountain was just too steep as Maddie Olschlager gets the match point rejection. Kingsburg advances with the 3-1 win as Pondo finishes its season at 20-9.
Tracy area sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way.
The Division III girls water polo finals between Christian Brothers and Ripon, and the Falcons goalie Logan Tiska singing the national anthem. Ripon gets off to a hot start. Mia Sickler-Lopez scores an unbelievable goal. She was even impressed with herself in that one. Then Sickler-Lopez is on the fast break all alone. You don't want to leave her alone. Tuning out the Ripon just like that. But Christian Brothers gets some revenge as they get on the board as Madeline Brennan scores here, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Falcons, here we come. But Ripon goes on a bit of a run in the second half. Mia reminded me of that new Taylor Swift song. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Sickler Lopez was a thorn in the Christian Brothers side. Her last goal here gives Ripon a 6-4 advantage. With a minute to go in the game, Carolyn Krause finds Lena Fulton, and she puts it in as the Falcons go into overtime, tied up to 6. Right before the end of the first part of overtime, goalie Logan Tiska reaches back and scores a goal. Falcons lead 8-6. With time winding down the last part of overtime, Ripon down 1, but not for long. Crystalline Tran scores the goal, and we go into another overtime. We're in the second overtime. It's Mia Stickler-Lopez scoring in sudden death, and that would do it. The ladies from Ripon Christian pull it out in lots of overtimes to win the D3 title.
Very excited just because it's my senior year. It's like the last time I'll be playing in high school. And I really just wanted to bring home the banner, our first ever of Ripon High history. And I was just so excited.
U.S. Army brings us the U.S. Army top recruit each week, highlighting players getting lots of attention by top colleges.
This week's U.S. Army top recruit is Phoenix Rose from Whitney. The junior cornerback has picked up 6 Division I offers. Want to be a top recruit? Find your path at GoArmy.com. Coming up, Bradshaw Christian heads on up to Marysville for our second SunPower Electric game.
Then it's the Division II title game in boys water polo. 49ers sac-hi Sports will be right back.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Tim never leaves his wife's side. But since junk sleep gave him a crick in his neck,
who's there?
He can't turn his head to see her. Now he's convinced she's left him.
Michelle?
Only our Love Your Mattress guarantee gets you the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it.
You came back.
Unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm.
Marysville finishing its regular season in a tie for second place in the Pioneer Valley League. And after a first-round bye, the 4th-seeded Indians host 5th-seeded Bradshaw Christian in the quarterfinal round.
Yeah, so a very evenly matched game. Bradshaw Christian 8-2 on the season. It's our second SunPower Electric game tonight. Our Mark Willis was there.
Electric game. Yeah, someone once told me it's not the playoffs unless there's a chill in the air. And with game time reaching 41 degrees as the temperature, it's perfect playoff weather. These teams had never met in the playoffs. Bradshaw Christian is in the second round for the 3rd straight season. The Pride have won 5 section titles, and the last one coming in 2015. As for Marysville, they are in the playoffs for the first time since 2016, and they have won their only section championship in 2008. Both Bradshaw Christian and Marysville are great at running the ball. But because I say that, there's going to be a passing touchdown to win the game. I've just got a feeling that might happen. So for now, let's get you to the SunPower Electric game. It's tackle football time, and Marysville's first playoff game in 6 years. Let's get to the action. Opening drive, and Marysville was after from the jump. Danny Lilani takes the handoff and breaks free into the Pride secondary, racking up 20 yards here on this run, and that would set up this 3-yard touchdown run by Caden Eilson. More like pushes into the end zone by the scrum, and it's 7-0 Indians. In the second quarter, Bradshaw Christian answers right back with a rushing touchdown of their own. Brandon Burden on the double inside handoff ties the game up at 7. It's still tied up at 7 as Marysville's D buckles down here on the coverage. Jack Housley gets the sack for the Ville. But that did not slow them down. The Pride's Ethan Rickards rolls out. Does he keep it? No, he tosses upfield to Nathan Zipiri, who sprints down the field for a 34-yard pickup. That would lead to this, another double inside handoff. Bradshaw Christian had this dialed up as Zipiri punches in his second score of the night, and the Pride leave it 14-7. Marysville not out of it. They give it to Joseph Indicati, and he breaks free from the 10-yard line, rushes up the midfield, and he picks up 38 yards. Bradshaw Christian goes to the pitch play, and you got to watch Burden fly here as he goes picking up 38 yards on this play. Tough running team. They can do it in the air and on the ground, especially on the ground. One more time, let's give it to Zipiri, the inside pitch. He takes it up the middle, and he's in. 21-7, Pride. It's fourth quarter, time winding down for Marysville. They go to the air, but Bradshaw Christian's Gabriel Villegas is hanging back there, and he picks off the pass. Nice move by coach to slide him into the safety spot. All the Pride had to do now is run out the clock, and they did just that. Mateo Mejica, he had 23 carries for 95 yards, and the Pride win this one 21-7 and will now travel to Summerville next week.
Came into the game well prepared. Our scout team, all the freshmen that came up to help us, they put in a good look for us today, and we came out here ready to play.
In Marysville, for the SunPower Electric game, I'm Mark Willis, 49ers sac-hi Sports.
Let's head back out to Roseville. Brian Mueller here for the D2 matchup between Wood Creek and Del Oro. We'll pick it up tied at 2. A nice combo from Jacob Rosenbaum to Caden Rudden gives the Timberwolves the lead. Final minute of the first, hold-in tweet, #goal. We're tied back up at 3. But Del Oro wasn't done in the period. Jacob DeYoung to Caden Pitzer, and he puts it away, 4-3 Eagles. Second period now. Cole Brown's shot goes off the post, but Justin Learn there to put it back, and Del Oro is up 5-3. But here come the T-Wolves. Shane Carter dumps it into Rudden, and he scores on the quick release. Wood Creek within a goal. The Golden Eagles start to create some separation. Pitzer with another one. That makes it 7-4. Bodie Farron was strong in net all day. Stops this one to keep it a 3-goal game late in the second. Third period now. It's 8-5 Del Oro. Sammy Gammon passes to Carter, and he capitalizes. Wood Creek down by just 2, but Del Oro wouldn't let them get any closer. Learn with another one on the penalty shot, and Del Oro goes on to win their first ever section title, 13-11 the final.
We've had some ups and downs where we're not playing together, but this game we were able to come out strong, play together as a one team. We're winning NorCal for sure.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Scott Nixon from Sheldon. The Huskies' outstanding utility player has over 800 rushing yards and 1,200 receiving yards this season. He's killing it in the classroom as well with a 4.25 GPA. Coming up, it's our final football game of the night with Jesuit and Rocklin.
Then Sonora playing for its first section title in school history in boys water polo. This is 49ers sac-hi.
Rocklin looking to make its way back to the Division I section title game. Senior running back Mason Silva leads the Thunder with 11 touchdowns on the year. Rocklin drawing the 4th seed and earning a first-round bye.
So Jesuit getting a well-rested Rocklin team in its second-round game. The Marauders are coming off a big win over Grigori. C.J. Lee throwing for over 200 yards in that game. But Jesuit now playing on the road in Rocklin. The game played on Friday night.
Ian Olsen bringing you the second-round showdown between the Rocklin Thunder and Jesuit Marauders. The Thunder offense starts strong on its opening drive. Joey Roberts delivers to the outside where Gavin Correa takes it to the sideline for a first down. Rocklin showed off its power running in the red zone, and Mason Silva caps the drive by taking the rock and diving into the end zone for the game's first score. Head to the second quarter, and Roberts goes back to the air, this time rolling right and finding Derek Houston along the sideline to set up a field goal and making it 10-zip. On Rocklin's next drive, Roberts steps up and throws a missile. Correa pulls it in over the middle for a 25-yard gain. Silva finishes the drive by taking the ball up the middle and busting the tackle at the goal line, punching it in to make it 17-0. With the Marauders trying to battle back before halftime, Eli Harding makes a key interception for Rocklin, putting his team back on the attack late in the first half. The Thunder offense takes advantage. Silva stays on his feet, reaching the edge and breaking a host of tacklers to find the end zone, making it a hat-trick of first-half touchdowns for him. Fast forward to the second half. Jesuit QB C.J. Lee keeps the ball, rolls left, and breaks some ankles on this move, reaching the sideline for a first down. Later in the drive, Lee throws a dart to the end zone, which is hauled in by Trenton Duar for the touchdown, putting the Marauders on the board. But Rocklin had no intention of slowing down. Roberts slings it out to Hardy for a Thunder first down, and Mason Silva follows by taking the handoff, finding a crease, and stepping through tacklers to the end zone, wrapping up Rocklin's convincing playoff win. The Thunder will face Manteca next week, who defeated Vacaville Friday 42-0.
Central Catholic coming in as the 6th seed in the Division IV NorCal tournament, taking on 11th-seeded Head Royce out of Oakland. Early in the first set, Natalie Kwan receives the serve. Kalia Krakowski hangs it up for Haley Helzebeck. But Central Catholic showing its grit early on. Shelby Jackson with the block there. It stays on CC's side. Grace Schubert, then Madison Janaski, then back to Jackson. She comes in for the kill. Central Catholic down 8-7. Janaski and Marie Wildenberg get both hands on that block. Royce on the second hit, but Jackson denies the shot. Some great defense there. But the set would belong to Head Royce. Lauren Baxter to Krakowski, then Melina McKinney. Jayhawks go up 1-0. Set 2, Sophia Castillon, Janaski, Nadia Colding, and that shot tools off the block. Central Catholic goes on to tie the match at a set apiece. Set 3, CC up 19-16. Emery Machado, the libero, gets it to Castillon, and Sophia nabs the point and goes up by 4. But the Jayhawks erase the deficit up 25-24. It goes McKinney to Krakowski, then back to Helzebeck. Helzebeck with the Hilza boom! Head Royce with the 1-set lead. Set 4 is 13-12 Head Royce. Krakowski gives it to McKinney. Then in the back row, Slamma Jamma. Jayhawks up by 4. Powerful double block here from Janaski and Grace Schubert. Hilzebeck goes in for her second shot and this time tips it over the blockers and it falls. Sometimes you gotta throw them the change up. And the night ends on a Hilzebeck heater. The shot falls just inside the baseline and Head Royce completes the upset and will go on to upset third-seeded Sonora in the following round.
Out to Roseville for the Division III Water Polo Finals Boys Division between Ripon and Sonora. Ripon was ripping it early. Owen Curtis reaches back and fires it in there. 1-0 Indians. Make it 2-0 as Ripon's Ben Sabadia is on the break and he fires it in there for the score. Super sophomore right there. The Indians were out running. swimming away as Brody Biederman with the left-handed pops it in for the goal. Sonora gets on the board here as Jack Conti ends up with the rock, and he scores it for the Cougars. Second quarter, and nice teamwork here as Biederman to McKean Breer, and he whips it in. 7-1 Ripon with the lead. In the second half now, Biederman was at it again, setting up one of his players. Here's Owen Curtis, gets another goal for Owen. Check out how Ryan Beal scores this one as he just swipes at the ball. It goes in. Everything going for Ripon as they win big. It's a championship dip for the players and coaches as they win the Division III title. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
That was the best I've seen my goalie play this year. I was really impressed with him. And everyone else, we're all making the extra pass to score the goal. And, you know, we're a team. And we win as a team, lose as a team, and that's how we rock.
Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ers sac-hi-sports.com to order game videos.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports content. 49ers.sac-hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter. If you think girls sports are important, we agree. A great way to show your support of our girls sports coverage is by subscribing to our YouTube page and watching our girls highlights. Those views help support the show.
Coming up, we'll choose the play of the week. This could be the play of the week, maybe not.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin Section Top 10 football poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
We are back to announce tonight's play of the week.
It worked last week, so we'll go with it again. Our Meshuggah, Mark Willis, will list off a few contenders and then announce the winner of the play of the week.
Play of the week.
We start off in the pools, Division III's boys, Ripon's team. It's Ryan Bell batted the ball into the goal. Nice play there. Dale Oros, Isabella Rossi, the heads-up play to hit the ball. It goes over the net and scores it. Great play there, Gurley. Out to Monterey Trail, the kickoff where you have Ollie Collier back there. And anything can happen when you put the ball in that talented player's hands. Up the field he goes, a little shimmy, and he's gone. 95 yards later, great season for Allie, but not the play of the week. It goes to this. It's Dixon's Saeed Smith with the block. It's a wild, loose ball. Luis Torres picks it up, and he's like, yo, I'm out of here. This touchdown might have been the difference in the game. Well, you know what? It's our play of the week, so it's got to be special. Great job.
That's the play of the week, and that is 49ers Sac-hi Sports for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Bronstein. Join us next week for more playoff football and NorCal title games in volleyball. You won't want to miss it. We'll see you then.